Welcome to the Simply Real Life podcast. I'm Sarah, the founder of Simply Real Health, here to help you simplify, amplify, and elevate your life. This show is for those of you who want the real talk on how to live a more intuitive and intentional life, a life that's healthy from the inside out, and one that feels more effortless, aligned, simple, and more alive. We cover it all, from health, wellness, mindset, motherhood, daily habits and rituals, to business and relationships, creativity and growth, and tiny tricks to feeling your best, and the energetics behind it all filled with personal stories, unfiltered conversations, and of course, answering all of your burning questions, all in the way of simplicity and keeping it real, so that you can create your own version of your healthiest life. Let's do it. Hi guys, welcome back to the show this week. I'm so glad that you are here. Today's episode is another mom and parenthood focused question. And here's the question that came in that I love. You said, can you share some of your best or favorite mom hacks? And I say, absolutely. I feel like I am always looking for ways to maximize my time, whether being more present with my kids or have more time in my life for the things that matter and the things that fill me up and the ways that I want to spend my time, and less time spent doing the things that I don't enjoy or the things that maybe have to get done, or finding ways to maybe make those things a little bit more enjoyable. I feel like my mind is always going like, how can I hack this? How can I simplify this? I mean, it makes so much sense how I started my business around Simply Real Health. Like, how can I take these recipes that are super complicated and a million ingredients and take so much time and seem like this big production? How can I make it more simple and more easy and quicker, where you're still getting all of the great benefit, but you're not going through all the stress, the overwhelm, all the stuff that takes up so much mental space. So I wanted to share a few of the things that I do almost daily that reduce that mental load or the mental clutter that seems to pop up. And I think the timing of this episode going into summer, hopefully this will give you a little nudge of inspiration of things that you can maybe do or try differently. Some of these things I have tried more in certain seasons than others. And just some ideas, it's always helpful. And I would love to hear some of yours. I think this would be a great conversation thread to open. What are the favorite things that you do to save time, save energy, reduce mental load, reduce mental clutter? Those things are important to live a life that feels intentional and healthy, and that we have time, like all the time that we need for the things that are truly important. Okay, so number one of the best mom hacks that I do that I was so resistant to for a long time is making the kids' lunches the night before. And in summer, it's probably not going to be every single day, but for the most part, I do have a sense or an idea of what the next day might entail for them. And even though I begrudgingly, I'm like, oh man, like one more thing to do at the end of the day. What I've been trying to do lately, which has been so helpful, is prep their lunches for the next day as I'm prepping dinner. And for some of you, you're going to be like, what? That's like twice as much going on. But honestly, I have the cutting board out. I'm already chopping veggies of some kind for dinner. It's going to be quick and easy. I've narrowed in on the types of veggies that hold really well the next day. And did you know, if it's sealed in a lunchbox, things don't get slimy or gross texture, especially with things like peppers or cucumbers or carrots. Those are the ones that hold up the most. Celery, if your kids will eat that, jicama too. Baby tomatoes obviously are great. They can be a little messy if they bite and they squirt out. Those are the ones that I always make sure I have on hand because they're easy to prep the night before, and it's easy to do that quickly or to do a batch of them and then I keep them soaking in water. That's another trick you can use, like soak your cucumbers or your cut up carrots or your peppers. You can soak them in water. But doing that the night before, if I'm really on top of my game, doing that at dinner the night before, and then it's done at dinner, and then it's one cleanup, and then I'm not having to get out the cutting board again, get out the knives again. It honestly saves so much mental energy and so much time, and it's quick and easy. I put the same things for the most part in both of their lunches, and it's done. Nothing feels better than knowing my kids are eating great food, healthy food. They're eating veggies every day, that I'm the one in control of that because I am secretly a control freak. But that is definitely a tip to try if you have not before. Sometimes they're not done with their lunch and they snack on it the rest of the afternoon. I don't really offer them snacks until their lunch food is done. So They don't get stuff out of the pantry. They don't get to go to the fridge. You have your lunch food. That is the food that we're going to have. We're not wasting food. And if you finish that and if you're still hungry, great. Again, this is just how I roll. It may be a little intense for some of you. That's just how I roll. And that's what makes me feel good, that they are always going to be eating the good stuff and they're not allowed to snack through the pantry and ignore the vegetables that we're given. So that works for us, works for our family. My friend gave me one of the best tips ever in that she has multiple lunch boxes. So I have their main lunch box, and then I also have a backup one, because when they come home from school or it's camp or it's an activity or us going out and doing something, having a backup lunch container or lunch box is helpful, because then you can do this process. Maybe even you're making lunch the next day at lunch the day before. So again, these are just little things to try. So if they have their current lunch in their current lunchbox, you have a second one. Or if one goes in the dishwasher and it's not ready later that night as the dishes are running, that you have another one to put it in. I don't know why it's such a big help, such a tiny tip for a big help. Second thing, this may be common sense, and many of you are probably already doing this, but we run the dishwasher every night, no matter what, so that it's always on the same schedule, that we run it at night and then we take it out every morning. That's just part of our daily routine. It keeps it from being dishes in the sink all the time and piling that up. I just think that clutters my mind when we have a messy sink and when there's dishes always stacked. Again, not always perfect about this, but having that be in our set rotation. Another thing that is very helpful, and this might just be the ages of my kids right now, but every afternoon before dinner, we do a cleanup of the random toys, and it's the best that they can do for their age. So there's 2 cleanup songs on Spotify, and we say, Alexa, play the cleanup song. And they go at it for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And it's like, all right, Legos go back in the bag. Someone's going to help clean up Rosie's baby toys on the floor and whatever June was playing with. So getting them in the routine of this is a normal part of helping out, pitching in for the family, having some sort of help and making it a fun song, a game, or you can even just set a timer for 5 minutes and say, all right, everybody clean up as many things as you can in the next 5 minutes. And I set the visual timer, which is another great mom hack. Visual timers are where it's at. And say, ready, set, go. And try to make it a game, try to make it playful. But then it's less for you to be cleaning up at nighttime. Again, less mental load, less mental color, less chores for you as the parent, especially after they're in bed and you are exhausted and all you want to do is rest. Another idea that we're going to start trying this summer, and I can't decide if the 3-year-old is too young for this, but I know my 6-year-old could do this, is the concept of, and I need to rebrand this name, but like the concept of a toy jail, where if things are left out overnight in the common areas, so like dining room, kitchen, living room, common spaces, that every night we go around and put those things into a basket or into a bucket, and they go into toy jail, which could mean that they then just get put downstairs or they gets put in a certain area of the house and they have a day to go get their things and then put them back. I can't decide, does this sound too intense or is this actually so helpful and so genius? So this is something I'm going to be testing out. I can't vouch for it right now, but the idea that I do like, because it just keeps cleanup on our end a little bit easier of not having to sort and bring all these tiny pieces back to their place. But if they don't care about it, then maybe we should be giving that away and simplifying. Or if they do really care about it, then they start to notice, oh, okay, I should maybe be taking care of my things. So verdict's out on that. I will let you guys know how that one goes. But that's something that I'm interested in as a little hack to try. The next hack that I do is making some type of homemade snack or homemade breakfast. And if I'm really on top of it, making some type of healthy homemade dessert. The dessert part doesn't always happen, but for the most part, making some sort of homemade breakfast and or snack. So usually a baked good, like a muffin, a scone, breakfast cookies, something that they can eat in those in-between times, but that I know are actually packed with so many good nutrients and good protein and good fiber, things that are just so much more nutrient dense and way less expensive than buying a million packaged snacks. But taking 10 minutes to dump some things in a bowl, stir it, and put it in the oven. You know, it's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes if you're doing a muffin. 20 minutes for like a scone. And it's very simple ingredients. I usually do like almond flour, some sort of oats. I like the Bob's Red Mill protein oats. Don't ask why they have protein, but their only ingredients is oats. Mystery of the universe, and some type of healthy fat in there, usually a frozen berry. If it's going to be sweetened, it's usually with a little bit of maple syrup, or it's with some mashed banana or applesauce. They're just very basic, simple things, but that they always have something that they can grab, whether coming home from an activity or that mid-morning time, or even as a part of their breakfast. This saves so much time and energy. It sounds like it's this big to do, but it's really not. It's always just one bowl, a few different ingredients, and it's simple. You're just scooping it into muffin tins, or you are forming them into the shape of a triangle and calling it a scone, but packed like flaxseed in there or chia seeds in there. Or sometimes I even mix in some of my protein powders. Having that around saves so much time, so much energy, saves a lot of money on the incessant packaged snack thing, I think, especially in summertime. And it's such an easy thing to do. Now, dessert wise, we love dessert every night. It's kind of the thing that we do. Kyle and I both love dessert. So having an option for them that's not fully a sugar bomb on their bodies every single night, like on the weekends, let's say we'll probably do ice cream, or maybe it's more of like a special dessert. For the most part, most weeknights, unless it's an occasion, it's some sort of healthier popsicle. So either brands that you can buy that are more like the smoothie based popsicles, or ones that you make, which are actually so easy to do. I have so many recipes in the cooking club on like different homemade popsicle ideas, even making your own lemonade, and then you can freeze those into popsicles. Also, another quick, easy idea is doing homemade applesauce in the Instant Pot. It is so good. We as adults are like, oh my gosh, this is so good. There's nothing even added to sweeten. It's just using good quality apples. I love the Cosmic Crisps, chopping them up, throwing them in the Instant Pot with a little bit of water and some cinnamon. And, takes 10 minutes. It makes this big batch for the day, and it's delightful. It's so, so good. So things like that, or like frozen blueberries are really good. Or maybe we do a scoop of, I used to never buy sweetened yogurt. It was only plain Greek yogurt. And then we do some honey. But lately we've been buying this vanilla yogurt, and that is a great dessert. Little less sugar than actual ice cream, but still tastes like a treat, but it's got great protein in it and good healthy fat. We love frozen dates too, or dried mango. These things that are little delights after a meal, like little palate cleansers, but that are not necessarily going to just skyrocket their blood sugar and make them run around like crazy and doing laps, before bedtime. So that is another little hack that we do. Another thing I know that helps my kids, feel free to take it or leave it, is when I notice things that we're wanting to work on, maybe like behavior-wise or being kinder or nicer to each other. Let's say, just for an example, it's one of my goals this summer, work on the sibling dynamic, is to do simple little charts like star sticker charts, or maybe they get to make their own charts and they get to put little X's on it, but rewarding the behavior that you want to see more of, instead of focusing so much, which is really hard to do, on punishment. This is not great behavior. This is not what we want. Trying to reward the positive behavior. So even doing a little sticker chart, this is what we're doing this summer, of little acts of kindness, like ways that you are kind to your sibling. And that's over and above like the norm of daily life. And then they start thinking and looking like, what are ways or different opportunities that I could be nice or help her carry something, or that I could bring him his toy, or that if he needs socks upstairs, just little things like that. Some of you may be like, that is not a great parenting tactic. But again, we're talking about the best mom hacks, talking about wanting better behavior, wanting to reward the good instead of always harping on the bad or punishing the bad, and really trying to build them up and encourage that behavior. My kids are very driven by little charts or little things that we're tracking. It just helps, I think, their brains see something visual, or that they do something and they get something for it. So take that or leave that one, but that's something that we are definitely trying and using. Another little hack I have is to do things around them that you want them to see you doing. And these are usually around your own values. Make it a priority, and it's mostly out of necessity at this stage of life, doing things like my foam rolling routine in front of them when they are around. I'm not waiting for the perfect moment when I have my own time and it's quiet and I have my own 10 minutes. And in other stages of life, have I gotten up early and then I have my own time to work out? Yes, that's the best. That's the most ideal. But also doing things like a workout or taking them with you on a walk that are good for you, that encourage them to witness you actively doing the things you value and prioritize in life and the things that you're hoping that you're passing down to them. So I hope I'm passing down to my kids, like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to make the time to do it, even when there's other things going on or it's totally chaotic or I have kids climbing all over me, but they are seeing and witnessing me take care of my body, or that we go out for a bike ride or a walk almost every day, or go to the playground or something that's active, because I want them to see and know that that's a very normal thing. For some people, it's hard work. And so it's more like chore based, or they only save the chores for nap time or when the kids are out of the house. It's very much a part of daily life and the environment that you are creating in your family and what you want them to see, because they really do catch so much of, I think Ed Milet said, it's caught, not taught. They are always watching and observing, and what you do speaks volumes of the things that you say. So involving your kids, doing things around them. For me, another one is cooking around them. Yeah, like it's crazy around 5 o'clock in our house. But my kids see me chopping broccoli, tossing it with olive oil, sprinkling with sea salt, putting it in the oven. That is just a very normal thing. If they need help, they just have to wait for 5 minutes. Mom is cooking dinner, because that is a priority in our family, to be eating real food and to always eat a vegetable at night. It's just part of the routine. That's what I want to build in as their norm. So just something to think about from a different perspective. Well, what things do you want them to be carrying with them as their norms and what they see modeled, and not just saving those things for when you feel like you have time or when you feel like it's the perfect moment or when you're alone. The last mom hack, if you will, that I have is to do the things you love to do, the things that make you joyful, the things that you enjoy, instead of having your whole life revolve around your kids' activities or only things that they love. If they love going to the park, great. I mean, we do that sometimes and it's a great thing. But what's actually more enjoyable for me is that if I get a walk in too. So that's why we tend for more scooter rides, bike rides, family walks. Like, this feels so peaceful, or better on my nervous system, or at least I'm getting a benefit here too, rather than just everything being centered around kids' activities. So for our family, we definitely do things like going on family walks or family bike rides more than structured activities like going to the zoo, because I happen to not really love the zoo. I love the walk around, but I can do that anywhere. And they feel sort of neutral about it. So this is just knowing your kids and your family and what things do you like to do. Another idea is like, I love reading. I love reading to my kids. I grew up reading and having books be a huge priority. And I want them to always have that growth mindset, be curious about things and going to the library and that excitement. So we sit down together and we look up books to put on hold at our library. And then we go pick them up and try to, especially in the summer, make it fun, like spread a blanket out and we picnic outside and we get to read and lay under the umbrella. To me, that is so relaxing as an activity. It's enjoyable for me and enjoyable for them. So it's finding those things that you feel like are a win-win for everyone and not everything centered only around your kids and what they like. So another example of that would be cooking. Like, I involve them in the process of making the weekly breakfast or weekly snack, because that's something that I enjoy, that aligns with our values, that I want them to know how to do, feel comfortable doing, enjoy doing, that they feel very confident in that area, and that they will have memories around that too. So just things to think about, like, what things do you actually like in your day-to-day life? What things do you enjoy? Are there any ways that you could bring your kids into that and make that part of your normal routines, instead of always waiting for pockets of time where you are doing things on your own? Okay, I'm sure there are so many more, but these are the ones that come to mind, the ones that I'm thinking about currently in this season of life. And I would love to know, like, really would love to know. Maybe we'll start a conversation on a post over on Instagram at Simply Real Health of what hacks or ideas do you have? Do you love? What things make your life easier? What things make them more enjoyable as your family, for your kids? for their memories, for childhood, for all of it. I would love to know. What a fun thread to be a part of. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope this was helpful or inspiring or gave you some ideas of things to try or not to try. If you don't agree, that's great too. All right. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week. If you enjoyed this episode and want more like it, make sure you're subscribed to the Simply Real Life podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and maybe share it with a friend or two. That would mean the world.